Good morning to everyone, dear students. This is BSR. In the last video, we discussed amendment process. So, with that, we were able to complete 15th lesson. Now we entered into 16th lesson. The lesson name is the election process in India. Actually, what is the concept we are talking about? So there are few aspects given in this lesson. One is what is need to conduct election, and election commission and its functions, followed by election process, various political parties, and is there any need to bring electoral reforms? These are the areas we will discuss. In this video, we will take only four subtopics. One is need of elections. So I think you can easily understand what's need to conduct elections in a country. Actually, election a process of choosing a leader. You can easily understand. Election is nothing but process of choosing a leader. So through leaders, earlier we can find. Just once look at that need of elections. Earlier we can find rulers and some dictators and like. But once the democratic process introduced in our country, we need to conduct elections. Elections are common in the democracy. So when elections are conducted, and it's easy to operate democracy because we can choose representatives, then they will go and rule the country. And what are the who are the people are there, what are the rights are there. So it can be enjoyed all the rights by the people in democracy only, so that other type of political system or other type of governments in which we cannot find any freedom to enjoy the rights. But in democracy we can find what you say that kind of freedom to the people to enjoy the rights. So it is the process through which the people can enjoy the rights. So because they are choosing their own leader and they are going and ruling their country. And the next one important area is if any ruler or the dictator is trying to come, can be removed because here political process there, elections are there, and there will be no place for the dictators and as well as the rulers. That is a major point. And coming to the even people according to their interest, according to their aspects, according to their ideas, according to their problems, or according to their plan, they can establish their own government. And then government will be based on the interest of the public, then it will be useful for the public also. So but it doesn't work this kind of no. See, the formation of government based on the interest of public, that is not there earlier. So now under democracy we are able to take certain we are able to do certain things according to our interest, right? So even through which we can establish equality, we will work for the people. Particularly rulers can work for the rulers can the representatives can work for the benefit of the people. So here people and their development will be the major or primary motto of the government. So upliftment of the backward sections or upliftment of the weaker sections may be the major factor. So the government can work for the development of the weaker sections. So that's why it is easy to establish democracy in the process. So at the same time, next one when talking about that's why we need to conduct elections in a country, and we have to choose our own government, and the government can come out and can rule according to our interest, can take decisions according to the public, so that it will be. That's why Aristotle said that democracy is the best form of government. So we need to operate it, we need to conduct it, we need to conduct election, we need to operate well, and we need to develop the people who are who are deprived, right? And coming to the second subtopic, talking about second subtopic, direct elections and indirect elections. I think you come across this. What are direct elections? Democracy. Actually, in olden days, like states like Sparta, Athens, their total population was 300, 200 like that. In a kingdom, the total population of the country or the kingdom, if it is only 200, all the 200 members can sit at a place, can work for the nation, or can involve in the various works of the nation. So here there is no need of choosing representative. Ruler is there, and all the people are working. So that's enough. Here there is no process of electing elections. There is no process to elect a person. Here the works not being done by the representatives. Works are directly done by the people in a direct democracy. Direct democracy can be seen in old city states like Sparta, Athens, like in European countries. But at present, the direct democracy cannot be seen because most of the countries their population is more and large population, and so crores of people are there. It will be difficult to operate, or it will be difficult to sit together and take decisions by all the people. That's why from every area a person is being selected or elected by the voters. So that right to vote that is being given, so that the right to voters can conduct elections, can go and can take their can involve in the election process, can involve in the election process, and can choose a representative. So here my point is here, indirect democracy at present is being operated. So this is also called as a representative democratic system. Representative system. You mean that it's a process, it's a type of democracy in which representatives are being elected by the voters. And these representatives, who are representatives? Generally MLAs, MPs and all. Even Sarpanch is representative. Ward member is a representative. MPP chairman is a representative. MPTs are representatives. ZPTs are representatives. And followed by MLAs are representatives. MPs are representatives. So that when large number of people are there in a country, cannot sit at a place and cannot involve directly in the affairs of the states, so that these people can choose somebody to look into this matter. That's why this democracy is called as indirect democracy, nothing but representative democracy. What we call representative democracy. So this is called indirect democracy. What we call this one? Indirect democracy. Coming to the election system. Election system. Just once look at the election system in India. So when direct democracy is not possible, and elections are needed, so that through which we are electing representatives. So representative system is important. It is compulsory, so that we are trying to establish representative system. Then that's why elections are being operated. So and because it's the largest country, so the India is the largest democratic country in the world because of population, because of the voter. Large number of voters are here. That's why these many voters cannot take decisions, cannot go there, cannot sit and cannot involve in the public affairs. So that's why instead of these people, some X will be taken as representative, and he will go and involve in the public affairs. So that's why elections are compulsory, are common in India. We need to take this. Just once look at that. We need to understand this better. So that election process compulsory, elections are compulsory, and and operating democracy is also an important task. This is one important area, and that's why we formed election commission. That's why election commission, now it is very important area. We need to look into this area because a number of questions we are expecting from this area. Election commission to conduct elections, we established one autonomous body, independent body called election commission. Election commission was formed on 25th January 1950. By 2010 it celebrated diamond jubilee, right? You can use a diamond 60 years completed, and 2011 25th January onwards, that is 25th January 2011 is considered as first voters day. So my point is here, in 2010 it celebrated Diamond Jubilee, and it's an important body, an autonomous body, constitutional body, because constitutional, I said constitutional body, a body which was formed by constitution, not formed by an act, not formed by anything. Constitutional body. It is an independent body. It can take decisions. It can conduct. It cannot work under anybody. It cannot work under state government, or it cannot work under central government. It has its own powers. It has its own authority. It has its own particular process. So related to elections, it can take decisions. So that my point is here, Election Commission was formed on 20th January 1950 and has been working and conducting elections at state level and central level. It has been conducting elections for Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislative assemblies, and at lower level also the election process is being done. So talking about this autonomous body, I said an independent body which is formed by the constitution, and so that worthy members are there in the commission can take their own decisions, and these people cannot bend to anybody, and even prime minister or president cannot work, cannot do anything, cannot advise. Even if advice is given, then they cannot follow. Even that's the point that is to be taken. Even advice that is there, that is given, they cannot follow. Coming to the example when talking about elections, in conducting elections in India, it's a big process, very big or difficult process. But anyhow, election commission since its formation, it has been conducting elections very well. So talking about this largest democracy, the biggest country where large number of people are there, large number of voters are there. But anyhow, this commission was able to do well and able to elect the representatives. I think you can remember that during British rule, only 14% of the people got right to vote and they cast their vote. In 1937, elections were held. At that time, just 10 to 14 percent of the people cast their vote. But when talking about this, after getting independence, we conducted election 1952. 1952, first general elections were held in 1952. So at the time, 17.32 crores people cast their vote. 17.32 crore people cast their vote. But now number has been increased to more than 80 crores. So my point is here, more than 80 crores of people are voters in India. That's why we call India as the largest democratic country, largest democratic country in the world. But we required so many people to operate, to conduct elections. That's why it doesn't have its own members or officials. Election Commission has no separate staff to conduct elections. That's why, according to Article 324(6), Election Commission can take the employees of central government and state government to conduct elections. Wherever elections are being held, there government employees are being taken by the Election Commission. But it is the right of the power of the Election Commission, which was given by the Constitution. But they will take permission from the President and as the Governor of the respective state. This is very important. So that's why public, just like when talking about when elections are held in the state, the government teachers are going to conduct elections at various places. The elections are being held by the government teachers or some other officials belong to various departments. My point is here, it doesn't have its own separate staff. That's why it depends upon the government employees, like state employees and central government employees. So while taking these people, they will take permission from governor of that respective state or even President of India. So that so complete control over these people also will get. That Election Commission will get complete control over these people. Without permission of this Election Commission, they cannot go to anywhere. They cannot go to these employees cannot be transferred by the governments and all. That's why During elections, complete authority over the election, over the employees, that is there to the election commission according to article 324 6 article 6 అనమాట. అంటే ఎలక్షన్ జరుగుతున్న ప్రాసెస్లో ఏ ఏ ఏ ప్రాంతాల్లో ఎలక్షన్ జరుగుతారో ఆ ప్రాంతాల్లో ఉన్నటువంటి గవర్నమెంట్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ అందరూ కూడా ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ కిందకు వచ్చేస్తారు ఆటోమేటిక్గా. సో ముందుగానే గవర్నర్ దగ్గర నుంచి పర్మిషన్ తీసుకుంటారు స్టేట్లో. తీసుకున్న తర్వాత ఈ ఎంప్లాయీస్ అందరూ కూడా అక్కడే వర్క్ చేస్తారు, వాళ్ళ కింద పనిచేస్తారు. ఆ టైంలో ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయటం కానీ, వాళ్ళని ఇంకొకటి పంపించడం కానీ, ఇంకోటి కానీ వాళ్ళ మీద ఎటువంటి పవర్స్ స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్స్ ఉండవు. అప్పుడు సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ పర్మిషన్ తీసుకొని వాళ్ళు వెళ్ళాల్సిన పరిస్థితి ఏర్పడుతుంది. ఇది మనం ఒక సిస్టంలో చూసుకోవాలి. ఇక జస్ట్ వన్స్ లుక్ ఎట్ దిస్ ఎలక్షన్ చీఫ్ ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనర్. యాక్చువల్లీ ఎలక్షన్స్, we have elections at various places. Just look at that chief election commissioner. One head is there throughout the country. Election commissioner, we call him chief election commissioner of India. We call him chief election commissioner of India. So he is the final head and highest authority. But see, that is there up to 1993. But after 1993, you can remember that after 1993, 3 members committee was formed. The election commission at the central level, we have 3 members. Before that, just only one member was there. That is we is called chief election commissioner. At present, we have 3 members. One is called as chief election commissioner, other 2 are called as election commissioners. Since 1993, this process has been followed. Say that. But there are election commissioners, they can be there in the post up to 6 years, or there is if it is there up to 65, they will be there up to 65, they will be there, but their tenure is 6 years. That point is to be taken. Their tenure is 6 years, but talking about this, they will be there up to the age of 65 years. So same time their aim is to conduct elections at state level and central level without any without any disturbances. But if anybody asking what is the difference between chief election commissioner and election commissioner, we don't have any difference in salaries, privileges, designation, powers, everything in all the areas. All the 3 members are equal. So particular status not there for this particular special status, that's not there for chief election commissioner. They will take decisions. They'll take decisions by the majority vote. By the majority vote, that point is to be majority vote. If anything they wanted to take, any decision that they wanted to take, out of 3, majority vote will be taken. Based on that, decision will be taken. So, but particularly during this period, election commission, there are great people worked as election commissioners, chief election commissioner. During the period, there are large number of reforms were brought, but elections are being held in a nice manner. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll discuss remaining areas.